we are with TIINA. Look, thank you very much for your time. How are you?
Thank you. Very tired, but happy.
So you are the director and the founder of the film festival in Estonia, which is called Black Night Film Festival.
Yes.
Which is one of the 15 films festivals in category A in the whole world, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
So
one of the biggest festivals. They are all very big festivals. Now there is a 14 because Moscow is not in anymore.
So as you are one of the founder, how did you get the idea of starting a film festival 27 years ago?
Yeah.
Why did you decide to?
It's a long story, but the main issue was that actually it was in the mid of the 90s, and it's the situation in the cinemas and in film industry in Estonia at this time was very bad, because there was a lot of discussions that do we need our Estonian films, and they have been lost from the screens, and in the cinemas there was cut down the cinemas. There was only something like 2.5 cinemas for all the Estonia, and actually as I am the film critic, my occupation is I'm educated, high educated film critic and theoretic. Then it was for me so sad. I was somehow also on the crossroad what to do continue to work in the film or to go and work for somewhere, I don't know, magazines or whatever. And I decided that I am trying at least to create the festival, because the festival is always taking the problems you can take in focus. And somehow, but in this moment I didn't think this. But years by later I was thinking so that it was like a protest action, because it was a protest against what was going on in the cultural policy regarding the film industry. Because all our aim was that actually people in Estonia are starting to ask that, why we don't see any other films, only Hollywood or Chinese B category, kung fu films? Where is Estonian film? Why we don't have cinemas? Because we took place many years, something like 17 years, we took place always in the alternative places, formal houses where was cinemas. At least one of the cinemas during our festival was connected to something. So that we wanted to raise the questions that where are our cinemas? And there was many questions, and somehow, of course, we have been in very big doubts. Are we going to succeed to make the festival which is going to be survive? Because let's say we didn't have in our country any festival tradition before. So there was a festival in Soviet time, but it was Moscow International, and there was Soviet feature films, different kind of documentary, but they have been like they have been rolling from one city to another one. So we didn't have, we didn't have knowledge and a lot of things, but we didn't have how to create this in moment. So we started to make this, but we have been very many years in doubts. Are we going on? What does it mean? But immediately we got a huge success from our own audience, because audience voted with the legs, and they have been with us, and they still are always with us. And the second case where we have been very succeeded was international level, because they understood immediately how important it is to create such kind of festival. And I already have been working in industry, international level. I started work as a journalist. I was 1991, first time in Cannes. Can you imagine, as a journalist? I was the first person from Baltic countries. And so it was very easy for me, because I had already all this network because of my distribution and journalist background. So yeah, and we survived somehow.
And now in 2002, according to the website of your film festival, you got like 80,000 admissions, more than 500 films, more than 800 cinema screenings, 2,000 people accredited. So you are in a good position. But now the PÖFF,
I especially don't change this. I know that because when we haven't been A-class festival and small one, it wasn't so important. But I don't want to be the next tough. So I'm keeping my PÖFF. Everyone should have to learn to pronounce PÖFF.
PÖFF.
Yes.
Okay, I did it. So now you have a huge amount of people going there. They started, or it's already known in the whole world. You have different sections like competition, best of fest, special screening, doc, critics, choice, etc. Shorts. But what makes the PÖFF different to other film festivals?
I think so that actually, no, festival, each of the festival is different because of audience, because we all are connected to our audience, and even we can't be, let's say, 100 steps forward on in front of audience. So we always are strict. San Sebastian has their own audience and audience taste, Venice own, and etc. And we do have our audience. It is the first point. This gives some kind of differences to the program selection, firstly, and secondly, the structure of the festival, because our festival has been born, we needed to have PÖFF shorts, because it was extremely needed for our Estonia and our region, because we should have to promote short films and making short films and the importance of making short films. Secondly, we needed to make a children and youth film festival, because in this time when it was created, you even couldn't find out on the bookshops any literature about the problems of the teenagers or nothing for the children. And I had in this moment my own children, and I understood that, oh my God, it is so important. We went to the Hagestund and they saw the children films, and they have been busy discussing in between themselves about the films. So it was the first point how to teach and how to create, let's say, audience for yourself, because we are still very, and even now much more, we are working together with the schools, because we do have a very cool audiovisual educational program for the schools. We are teaching how to film, how to watch films, and etc. And so the structure is very strongly based to our first place on our own needs, which gives originality. And the third, and maybe most important, is that actually we succeeded to create the atmosphere which is so much loved by the film people. I think so, because I am getting the feedback, and of course you should have to ask this from people who are not involved with the festival. But we really from the very beginning decided so that actually in our festival all the guests, all the people are equal. So we are not making any differences. We don't have such a big formalities. Like, I'm not against this, but just I know that what is, now let's say, my taste, my team taste. So we are creating, and still we are creating, let's say, the atmosphere where you can make a networking, you can sell, you can buy, you can make contracts, you can pick up the project from the industry and etc. But it is in very free and liberal atmosphere, because many festivals, for instance, between industry and festival is a strict border. You know, you are guest of the festival, you cannot go to the industry. You are guest of the industry, you don't know anything about the festival. But we are mixing it. So because our philosophy is that, okay, today you are guest of the festival, fine, but next time you are with your project guest of the industry. So why we should have to build up the border or wall between? So they are mixed from the very beginning, always. All the events, everyone is allowed to attend.
So that could help people, like maybe now they are directors, but in the future they might be producers.
Absolutely.
So that's a way, good way to understand.
Yeah, and there is also and it is true that many people are saying so that, oh, here was here, he here. I never cannot go close and can do such kind of person or professional. But in Tallinn you can. He's sitting in the bar and drinking the whiskey or whatever he's drinking, or going to winter swim in the early morning, and you can really find and make a good matchmaking. But here, which is normal, Cannes is so big, and you should have to have the security for some kind of people. In Tallinn, we don't need. It is the best festival when nobody don't recognize you.
So
be sure that you are absolutely anonymous.
And just to we are getting an idea about the PÖFF. Yeah, I did well.
Yeah.
And last question about the importance of your film festival in the cinema culture in Estonia. We are checking the data, and the national market in 2022 was 20%. Just to have an idea, in France is 41%. The national market in Spain is 15, 20. If you go to Colombia, Colombia is 3%, Peru is 1%, but Estonia is 20%, which is no bad. Do you think your film festival has something to do with this?
I think so, yes, of course, because all these 27 years what we took place, we educated our audience. And the audience who, let's say, people who started right now with us, they are now became old people. But they do have the families, children, grandchildren, and as much I know that they are all, let's say, giving, it's about information and of course we are very much promoting Estonian films, not only Estonian films, but the fact that actually in Estonia we do have right now, by the way, in cinemas, a fantastic repertoire. It is so, let's say, from wall to wall, from very interesting countries, not European ones. So here is a statistic only European films, but there are a lot of films coming from Asia, from Latin America, from other countries also. There is a tradition to see and watch author films, which is, of course, we are playing here a huge role. And we do have a very good educational programs. We are working with audience. So it is nothing in this world happening without any reason. There is always some kind of system behind. And I think so.
Well, we appreciate your time, TIINA. LOKK, thank you very much. We know that you are very tired, so that means you are working a lot, so that's a good business in Cannes.
I do have my bellmans right now.
So we wish you the best in Cannes and enjoy the rest of the days in the festival. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.